Hey sports fans, how's it going? You okay? Yeah? How's it going, everybody? Yay! Well, thanks a lot for coming. I didn't know how many people were going to turn up, but it's really nice that you all came out, so thank you very, very much. I think it'd be really appropriate to thank the organisers of Thrive Yorkshire for putting on such a great event. Do you agree with me? Shall we show our appreciation? Now, this talk has a disclaimer right off the bat. Becky's been nervous about this all day. Anything I say, please don't get upset with me, okay? I've been told I'm not your typical kind of speaker. I don't know what that means, but anything I say is not meant to be offensive. Are you hearing me, Thrive Yorkshire? Okay. Anything I do or I say is meant out of love. I want you to grow, okay? So please just don't be upset with me. Is that okay, guys? Yeah. Are you ready, Thrive Yorkshire? Yeah. Okay, great stuff. So, like Becky said, I'm going to just talk to you about how I generated 150 grand's worth of leads with social media. I did that in 3 months, and I did it for free. That was January to March this year. Now, before we get into this thing, everyone gets really excited and goes, I want some of that for myself, because you all want that for yourself as well, don't you? Yeah? Of course you do. You'd be crazy if you didn't. Now, I've worked with so many businesses, those who wanted to generate 12 grand a year, all the way up to those who say, I want to generate about 5 million a year, and all those that are in between. The problem that these guys have is, it's not about how to use Facebook and Twitter. That's not the point. They lack something else, and I've seen this so many years. They lack a good foundation. Well, I thought you were going to tell me about how to use Facebook. We're going to get to your Facebook, don't worry, okay? To be fair, though, you can Google all that stuff for free. How to use Facebook for this, how to use Twitter for that. Check out my blog. It's all there for free. You don't need that. You need something else. You need a good foundation. So what we're going to do is, for the first part of this, we're going to set that foundation, okay? And then we're going to go into some practical tips, and Becky willing, time willing, we might even do a Q&A. Does that sound all right, guys? Okay, good stuff. Out of interest, let me just gauge the room. How many of you have used Google or another search engine in the last week, privately or professionally? Let me see your hands. Raise them high, raise them proud. That's 100%, isn't it? Okay, good stuff. How many of you have used a social media site in the last week? That could have been a blog, LinkedIn, Twitter. Awesome. Right. All right. How many of you have clicked on a link that was sent to you? It could have been in an email. It could have been a funny picture, video, booking on this event. Can I see your hands? Raise them high, raise them proud. Please keep them up. Okay, look around. Right, hands down. Now, do you know, everywhere I go in the UK, I get those same numbers. Well, what's the point, Haroon? I'm glad you asked. The point is that we're all searching online, we're all using social media, and we're all clicking. So why are we still struggling to generate those leads and those sales? Something's not right, is it? Okay, and that's what we're going to be talking about today. So who the hell am I, and why should you listen to me? Well, as Becky kindly pointed out, so I'm the head of digital marketing for Kemia Consulting. It's all right, it's okay. Kemia Consulting. And I've got my show, Haroon's Hangout. Now, in January, I was so blessed that CBC Radio featured me on their on their broadcast network. For those of you who don't know, and I didn't know at the time, CBC is Canada's version of the BBC, which was like fantastic. And I thought, that's hilarious, because I'm only a lad from Bradford. But I'll tell you a bit more about that later on. The show has also given us a platform to interview some of America's leading social media experts. That's a guy called John Hayden. He's the author of Facebook Marketing for Dummies. And he's come on the show 3 times. And John, God bless him, he's opened up some doors for us now, where we're in talks with some of the biggest social media companies and sites in the world who are now considering coming on the show. So that's pretty good. We've also just soft launched our own online TV network called the Kemia Network. We have different shows, we have a lot of behind the scenes stuff, because we're quite a busy company. We may be small, rough and ready, but we're busy, and we like it that way. So we've done quite a lot of stuff there. Now, I need to ask something. How many of you want to grow? Okay. How many of you actually want to grow? Whoa, okay. Did you see what happened there? There was a hesitation. I asked a question. This is okay, by the way. Okay, we're all friends here, okay? My name's Haroon, I am your friend, okay? I said who wants to grow, pretty much everyone's hand went up straight away. When I said who actually wants to grow, there was a bit of a hesitation. Now, why am I saying this? This is the problem. Everybody says the right thing. Don't get upset. Don't get upset. Remember the disclaimer. Don't get upset. It's going to be all right. I was talking to a guy fairly recently who said to me, hey, Haroon, I've heard about you and I've heard, I want you to help me grow my business. I want to grow. He was saying all the right things. And I said, okay, dude, that's fine. So we sat down and we started talking about his business, and he was using all the business buzz phrases that we have about adding value and growing and innovation. I was thinking, yeah, this is great. But when we actually went through the process that we go through, he was like, I don't want to do any of that. What the hell? Seriously? He was saying all the right things, but he wasn't prepared to do what it takes to grow. This is that foundational stuff that we're talking about. Everybody says, just tell me how to use Facebook. No. Before you do that, there has to be a decision to grow, okay? I remember I was in Leeds train station one day. I was going there. It was hustle and bustle everywhere and everything like that. I got a notification on my phone. I look at it and I get an email, and it stops my world dead in its tracks. And what it was a rejection letter. And it said, Dear Haroon, thanks for applying with our jobs agency, but you don't have the relevant qualifications. You don't have a marketing degree. We're not going to send your CV to all these jobs that you've applied for. Just to give you a bit of background story. I used to have my own business, and like everybody else, years ago, I was hit by the recession. And at the time, I had a wife, I had a son, I had a mortgage, I had responsibility, but I had to suck it up. I had to be responsible. So I was trying to get a job, but they wouldn't give me a job because I didn't have a marketing degree. So anyway, after that, we just said, okay, fine, we'll just keep on with the business, and things started to get better, okay? But I remember, now this is really important for you guys, I remember January 2012, the first week, probably the second or the third, I made a decision and I said, you know what, I don't care if I don't have a marketing degree. I don't care who doesn't want to see my CV. I've decided today that I'm going to be the best in my industry. Today. I even put it on Facebook and everyone was liking, oh, that's so motivational, oh yeah, that's great and all that. And I thought, no, you don't understand. You don't understand what I'm saying. If you could open my chest and look at my heart, this is what I'm saying. I'm really motivated to do this thing. 2 years later, almost to the day, I got featured on CBC Radio. But it started with a decision. Not, I want to grow, and then I'm not willing to do what it takes. No, it doesn't work like that. And that guy that I was talking about, he's typical of most people that we talk to. But we're coaches as well. I actually had to say to him, look, you might think that this is about you working with me. I'm looking at you and I'm saying, can I coach you? And the answer is, I'm not convinced. I'm not here to tell you what you want to hear. I'm here to tell you what you need to hear, okay? Is that okay, guys? I'm Haroon and I am your friend. No one's left so far, so we're okay. That's good. Why am I saying all this? Hey, growing is painful. Growing's a buzzword that we all say so much, and we get so excited about it. Hey, it's painful. Some of you have experienced growth. You know what I'm talking about. I'm getting a few people nodding at me. It's not easy. It forces you to look at yourself. It forces you to analyze and to change things and to grow and to do things that you might not have wanted to do in the first place. I mean, John is my colleague, Cameron's as well. You know, we've just released a video. Hey. We've just released a video about what we were doing over the summer, and you know, we had to have a harsh reality kind of conversation about where are we weak as a business? What aren't we doing? What happened to those plans that we haven't done anything with? You've all got them. We did. How many people have set marketing plans? What happened to them? Where's the fruit of it? What's happened to it? Has it ended up on a file on your desktop or in a drawer somewhere and you think, oh yeah, we had a great marketing plan. Nothing happened though. Harsh reality, isn't it? No one's left? Good, okay, good, all right, we'll keep going. Now, I've got a problem. The problem that I have is that you get loads of people in my position who are telling you how to use social media. Some of you have been to social media seminars before, haven't you? How many of you have been to a social media seminar? Okay, yeah, pretty much everybody. Now, you're thinking, well, how do I know if Haroon is telling me the truth, or how do I know if he's the right guy that, basically, is he the right person that I should be listening to? Okay, well, fine. At Kemia, we've boiled this down to two types of social media consultants, experts, or whatever you want to call them. Don't get upset. The first one is what we have affectionately termed as a social media hippie. And they'll say, I almost swore, they say stuff like, it's all about building relationships. It's all about talking to people. You shouldn't sell. Right, okay. And I'm saying, no. Well, Haroon, are you saying you shouldn't do that? No. I'm not saying that it's incorrect. I'm saying it's incomplete. There's a difference. Because people are misquoting me and they're not looking at my content properly. The point is, look, okay, if you make it all about building relationships, you'll make a hell of a lot of friends, but you won't make any money. I'm getting some nods. If you make it all about engagements, you'll have a lot of great conversations, but you won't make any money. If you say, well, you shouldn't sell, guess what? No money. This is foundational stuff, right? Okay? This is the stuff that we have to help our clients with. We're unlearning a lot of this crap that that has been taught over the years. So, I mean, look, all right, and people say, oh, no, you shouldn't sell. Look, there is a way to sell online, okay? It's not overtly selling. It's selling without selling. It's subtly selling, okay? I've never paid a bill with a relationship. Have you? Depending on how far you take that, that's probably illegal. Hello, somebody. I've never rung the mortgage company up and said, hey, I can't pay my mortgage today, but you know, we had that good chat on Twitter this time. They'll take your engaging ass to court, right? Don't work like that. Let's make this really simple, okay, guys? And I'm doing this because I do this on a weekly basis with people. You are all in business, I hope. Anybody in the wrong seminar? This isn't the Great British Bake Off or anything like that? No? Okay, good. You're all in business, yeah? You are in business to make a what? Profit, good. Right. What does your profit consist of?
Sales.
Money. Some of you are looking at me weird, like I've got 3 heads or something, like I've said something weird. You're in business to make a profit, right? Your profit consists of relationships? No. Does it consist of engagement on Facebook and how well your metrics are doing? No. I live in a world where we pay our bills with money. That makes sense? Okay, good stuff. So, who should we be listening to then? Well, we believe we should listen to us, but you need someone who's business-minded about social media. Yes, engage with people. Yes, develop relationships. Yes, don't overtly sell. But at the end of the day, you are there to make a profit. If you make some friends along the way, and we have, that's a bonus, man. That's great. But don't make any mistake. When the mortgage company is asking you for your money, don't tell them that you had a great conversation on Twitter. That's not going to cut it. Okay? All right, we're all still here. That's great. So I did a talk at Leeds University a few years ago. I talk a lot. My mum says I talk a lot. So anyway, I was doing this digital marketing talk at Leeds Uni, and I said to the audience, what are some of your favourite websites? And keep it clean, okay? So apart from social media sites, they gave me the usual BBC News, Sky Sports News, IMDb. Someone said Perez Hilton, God bless them. And I wrote them all down. And then I said, okay, how many times a week do you guys go on these sites? And they're like, yeah, pretty much every day, okay? So I said, okay, how many times a day might you go on some of these sites? And one dude at the front, he said probably between 10 and 15 times a day. 10 and 15 times a day. I was like, I knew it was going to be that high. I knew it was going to be high, but I didn't think it was going to be that high. And I was like, dude, what the hell are you doing all day? And he goes, well, it's because I've got it on my phone. And I keep checking it all the time. And then it became like a confessional because other people's hands started creeping up and they go, yeah, that sounds about right for me as well. And apart from an indictment on the education system, I thought, well, why are you guys spending so much time online? They were like, because it's interesting. I was like, yeah, genius. I know it's interesting. What makes it interesting? And then I'll never forget this. One guy at the back, he goes, because they've got good content. And I was like, exactly. Think about this. They've got content that is fresh, relevant, and updated on a continual basis. You with me so far? Okay. You would not look at your favorite website today, go away, and then look at it tomorrow just to read the same thing, would you? No, it's insane. Either that or you've got a lot of free time. Okay, but you wouldn't do that. It's insanity. But as businesses, this is what we are doing to our customers. And then we wonder why we don't get the traffic, why we don't get the sales, the inquiries, and the leads, and all that kind of stuff. Are you with me, guys, yeah? Your customers are after content that solves a problem or a need. If you take one thing away from today, please, let it be this. You need to solve your customers' problems and needs. Well, why didn't you just tell me about Facebook? Okay, let's go down that route for a second. I don't know why I do this when I do that voice, but anyway. If I told you how to use Facebook, and I will, hopefully, Monday morning when you log onto Facebook, it says update status. What are you going to put in there? Content, right? You need content. And how are you going to get likes and comments and shares and leads if your content's crap? Because we've all watched those videos that are boring as hell. We've all read a blog post and thought, God, Bennett, this is awful. Just because you create a bit of content doesn't mean anyone's going to like it. Oof, that was... Are we okay? Right? Just because you make a video doesn't mean anybody's going to watch it. Trust me, I know. Okay? I've learned the hard way. You need to have content that is awesome, compelling, that is going to be worth talking about, worth sharing. We have a rule, don't we? We analyze everything we do. And we say, is it interesting? Is it relevant? Is it compelling? If the answer is no, it doesn't go out. Am I lying, guys? No? Okay. Okay. So, let's talk a bit about how this fits together. So, CBC, the Canadian radio station. So they sent me an email. It was really, I didn't know if it was spam or not because it was really unprofessionally written. And it just said, hey Haroon, I'm Phil from CBC. I'm doing a piece on LinkedIn marketing on how to use LinkedIn for business. I saw your video online. Can we use it? Cheers, Phil. And I remember I sent it to our managing director, who's not here today, Ian. And I said, I can't tell, is this spam or not? What do you think? And I'll never forget this. He said, pursue it. You never know where it might lead. And so anyway, the point is that let's break this down. So Phil from CBC, he had a problem. He had a need, okay? He subsequently told me, I've got to fill this slot on my show, okay? But I don't know anything about LinkedIn. So what did he do? He Googled it. And this is what he saw. Who's that dude over there? In the Superman t-shirt. For those of you who might not be able to see, that's me, okay? At the time, so this was in January, and this is a screen grab of the search result that happened in January, okay? It's changed since then. Google searches change, okay? He Googled something along the lines of LinkedIn strategy or how to use LinkedIn for business. Now, I don't know if you guys can see, the top result is Forbes.com. You all know Forbes, don't you?
Yep. Yeah.
Okay, right? Down there as well, the other two search results there we've got is Social Media Examiner. They're one of the biggest social media sites in the world. And then you got me. How in the hell did a lad from Bradford get featured on a Canadian radio station? That's hilarious when you think about it. Seriously. They could have asked anybody in Canada. It's pretty big if you haven't been there, unless you don't know. It's pretty big. What about North America? What about Europe? But a guy from Shelf? They didn't ask Forbes. They didn't ask Social Media Examiner. They asked me. And I'm really appreciative of that. But it wouldn't have happened unless I had some content that solved a problem and a need. Can you see how that all fits together, guys? I know we're kind of talking a little bit top level, but this is the key to your social media. The strength of your social media, by the way, is dependent on the strength of your content. Let me say that again, because I know people are writing this down. The strength of your social media is dependent on the strength of your content. The same applies to your SEO, search engine optimization, just in case. Your website, all of this revolves around content, compelling content, not just any old crap, okay? That makes sense, guys? And by the way, for those of you who may not know, look, what's the biggest search engine in the world? What's the second? No. YouTube. YouTube is the second largest search engine in the world. Okay? How many of you have ever looked at a YouTube video and just said how to do this or whatever out of interest? Yeah, a lot of people. Yeah, okay. Now, YouTube is owned by Google. So guess what? YouTube videos are going to come up in the search results, okay? Now, people are more likely going to click that because, number one, it's a thumbnail. They get higher click rates, okay? Second of all, you've got my smiling mug on there as well. But people do business with people, not logos. There's a whole lesson in that one that I can't go into. But, humanize your brand, guys. Don't hide behind a logo. Feature yourselves. Come as you are, whatever you look like, okay? Well, I don't want to go on video. I don't want to do it. Okay, well, talk to us. We can coach you. We can help you, okay? There's a lot of good companies out there as well that can help you do that. But if you really want to grow, like we were talking about, if you actually want to grow, this is the kind of stuff you've got to do. And this is the point where everyone goes, well, I haven't got time for this. I'm too busy here. You don't know what I'm doing. Okay, fine. Everybody laughs at this slide, and I don't know why. Okay. This is a guy called Nick Auger. Now, I've got a question for you. Did he always look like that?
No.
He didn't come out of the womb like that, did he?
No.
Okay. Now, he will have either been a bit heavier or he might have been a bit skinny. Okay, I don't know. But the point is, he started from somewhere. Can we all agree on that, yeah? Now, can you imagine his first day at the gym? He'll have gone and talked to a personal trainer. He'll have made a decision. See how that ties in? That's pretty good, right? I came up with it. He made a decision he wants to look like that. He'll have talked to a trainer. They'll have gone through diet and exercise and training and all that kind of stuff, okay? Fine. And he might have got down and started to do some ab crunches, okay? His first set of ab crunches. He might have done about, 20, 30. Now, his form might have been perfect. He might have felt the burn on every single crunch. Got a question for you. When he got up after his first set of ab crunches, did he have a six-pack?
No.
Well, why not? You told me to do this. It hasn't worked. No, my friend. Things of value take what? Time. That's a tweetable if you're going to use that one, okay? YT14, tweet that, okay? Things of value take time. I know we live in this instant gratification, microwave, I want it in 5 seconds, ping kind of society, but there's still room for hard work, dedication, and consistency. That's still not changed with social media. Don't let anybody tell you that, you can write a blog post. It's like a used car salesman. You can write a blog post and you'll get 1,000 Twitter followers. No, that's bollocks. Sorry. That's not right. That's not right. No. And this is the kind of stuff I'm having to unlearn with people. Okay? That ain't right. Things of value take time. It took me a while to get my first 1,000 YouTube views. Now I get over 1,000 a month. But it took time. It took hard work. It took dedication. It took consistency. I mean, look, don't you think that this guy will have woken up some days and said, you know what, I really can't be asked going to the gym today. But he did it anyway. There'll have been times when he looked at his plate of rabbit food or whatever, and he'll have said, you know what, I really fancy a right greasy burger from Rogers on Great Horton Road in Bradford. But he didn't. He did it anyway. Funnily enough, that video that got featured on CBC Radio was one of those videos where I woke up and I said, I can't be asked, but I did it anyway. Isn't that funny? It's funny how the world works sometimes, isn't it? I didn't think that was my best show or my best performance, but someone did. I wonder what would have happened if I didn't do it that day because I was too busy doing my day-to-day stuff. I did a presentation with a client of ours. I've been working with the two directors. They're a multi-million-pound company. And they said, Harun, we really love the stuff that you're doing with us. I've got to plug myself a bit as well, you know. And he goes, can you come and present this to the rest of our staff? Get them on board with what we're doing. I said, fine. Went there. Straight away, one of their key people said, we haven't got time for this. And the director, I was so pleased. He just said, we're going to make time for it because it is important. And that's a really important principle. I want to say that again. You will make time for the things that are important to you. If you actually want to grow, no excuses, guys. I've got a son. I have a busy schedule. I'm involved in all kinds of things, community-wise and all that kind of stuff, but I still find time. It's funny because a dear mentor of mine, He is the pastor of a church of 1,000 people. He has 4 kids, a wife. He has 4 businesses. And one day he said to me, you know what, Haroon? It doesn't matter who you are, whether you're rich, poor, whatever, broke, busted, disgusted, whatever it is, we've all got 24 hours in a day. Time is no respecter of persons. It's what value you place on that activity. If you really want to grow, if like you told me you want to grow, then you'll have to make time for it. Is everybody okay? You guys are so great. I love this. How are we doing for time?
All right, we've got 15 minutes.
15 minutes, okay. Let's do some practical stuff, okay? That was all foundation. Whew, that's a lot of foundation. Okay, if you're making notes or anything like that, we can start doing some practical stuff now. So this is part of the training program that we have at our company. Excuse me. This is the 5-step marketing plan. And it starts off with goals. I sounded well Yorkshire, and goals. 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 Toast. Sorry. The first thing we do is we link it to the finances. Because if you don't have a financial aim in mind like we were talking about, remember? You're frigging about on Facebook, to be fair. Okay? It has to have a profit sort of focus. Okay? So if you want to do this now, what's your turnover going to be for the next 3 years? Aspirationally, you know what? Go nuts. No one else is going to see it. Write that down now if you want. What's your turnover going to be for the next 3 years? Where do you want to operate geographically? And I'm going to stop right there for just a second, because some of you are thinking, this is really basic stuff, Haroon. You'd be surprised how many companies do not know the basics of their own company. I've had a situation where I've had 2 directors. I've said, where do you want to operate geographically? One guy goes, Yorkshire. The other one goes, what the hell's wrong with you? We want to go international. There's Discord. No wonder it's not working. Foundation's wrong. Can you see what I'm talking about, guys? Really basic stuff. One wants to do Yorkshire, one wants to go international. That's hilarious. This is a really key one now, okay? For those of you who actually want to grow and have made that decision, by the way, just a caveat. Some of you may not actually be in that place right now today where you want to make that decision, that you want to grow. That's okay, guys. Some of you have already made that decision, and I hope that you guys will run with this stuff that I've given you. Fine. But if you're not in that place, don't worry about it. At least you know. And you will get frustrated and say, well, this Haroon guy, he's just full of crap or whatever. No. Oh, I hope so. So if you want to actually grow, you've got to address this next point, okay? Who's going to do it? Who's going to do the blogging? Who's going to do the tweeting and the Facebook, the Twitter, whatever you want to call it? Because it takes time. Videos take time. It takes time to set up a shot, to film, to edit, to upload onto... Guys, you help me out, yeah? It takes hours, right? Yep. Who does it? I had one guy who said to me, why is that any of your business? He says he wants to grow, right? I said, okay, fine. To this day, they struggle to even get 1 blog post out a month. That's an indictment. Well, once a month, that's what I was going to do. No. That's not going to cut it anymore, guys. No. You're looking at 3 to 4 at least a week. Oh, the room's gone quiet. Okay, let's talk about this. This is good. Google has done a lot of algorithm changes recently, because you all want to get on page 1 of Google. I know you do, okay? But Google made an algorithm change a year ago called Google Hummingbird. Write that down if you want. And they've placed an Hummingbird. It's my accent, I'm sorry. And they've placed an emphasis on quality content. If you do something once a month, Google are going to go, we're not going to put them on page 1. But if you're doing 3 to 4, or like us, up to 10 posts a week, Google's going to go, that's really good. We're going to push them higher up the up the search rankings. 3 to 4 a week is kind of like a rule of thumb. So now you're seeing why you need to pick a leader. Look, I remember me and John were doing some work once. This is about, I don't know, end of last year. And we got all these great ideas. I love working with John. We bounce off each other really well, and we got loads of great ideas for lead generation. And one day, you remember, and I said to John, no, hang on, we need to stop. And he was like, why? I said, do you know what? This is a great idea, but we've got 10 other ones that we've not done yet. We've not implemented them yet. They're worthless. You might have an idea or a plan or something that could potentially make you £1 billion. It's not unheard of. But unless you do that thing, it's worthless. Yeah? Who's your leader? You need a leader to do this stuff. You need a leader to make this happen. Who is your leader in your company? Because without that person, this is not going to happen for you. Harsh reality. Does that make sense, guys? Have a think about that. If you're a, if you're a managing director of a company, it probably shouldn't be you, because you need to be steering the company. You probably haven't got time to be doing all this. You need a leader. And I'm stressing not just anybody. I'm saying a leader. Who is going to make things happen? Who's going to do that six-pack stuff, yeah? When they can't be asked. That make sense, guys? Good stuff. Next thing is buyer personas. I hate this thing with marketing companies where they go, who's your target customer? And you go through a process, and what they'll spit out at you is, I don't know, your target customer is a female aged 18 to 25 and they live in Ilkley. That doesn't tell me anything about how to reach them. But if you know what motivates somebody, remember remember the Rubik's Cube? What's the problems and the needs? If you know what's their problem, need, fears, desires, you can build up a good personality profile of that person. And you create a list of buyer personas. Don't tell me that you've only got 2 customers. No. You've got to go really, really deep and varied. The way you talk to buyer persona 1 is going to be different to the way you talk to buyer persona 2. Let me give you an example. Some of our companies are startups. They have an immediate need to set up a marketing foundation. Okay? They don't know what the Facebook is. If anybody calls it the Facebook, please send them my way. Okay? Or Twitter. Buyer persona 2 might be an established company who have already made a start on digital marketing. And they know it works, but they just need that extra push. Now, I'm not going to talk to the startup the same way I'm going to talk to a grey-haired company. I've got grey hair, so I can say that. Okay? Do you understand what I'm saying? Now, here's the litmus test. Third one is SEO. The litmus test is, what would buyer persona 1 Google to find me? And if you went on page 1, you know where to start. What would buyer persona 2 do? Etc. Does that make sense, guys? How are we doing for time, Becky?
10 minutes.
Okay, really quickly then. Well, we can do this 2 ways. I've got some Facebook and Twitter tips that I can give you, or we can do a Q&A if you want. It's up to you, because then I suppose if I do a Q&A, I'm actually giving you guys what you want to hear. So let's have a vote. Who wants the Facebook and Twitter tips? Who wants the Q&A? Who wants to leave? Okay, Facebook. Let's do this quickly then. Here's some ways to get engagement, okay, from Facebook. Number 1 way to do it is to ask questions, okay? Think about every single human interaction you have on a day-to-day basis. Offline, I mean in person, okay? You'll always have a question in there. I won't go up to this gentleman here, Mick, and just go, hi. Hello. That feels uncomfortable, doesn't it? But I'll probably say, you're all right, Mick, you enjoying the conference? That's a question. Yeah? You don't say, I watched X Factor last Saturday. That's a bit random, okay? But someone will say, did you watch X Factor last week? Is a question. Because as humans, we want to interact with other humans. Social media is just a way to do that, okay? So ask questions. I've done stupid stuff like, how was everyone's day? And that's got loads of reaction, okay? This is John Hayden. He does this. He goes, yes or no in capital letters, and he puts a little asterisk next to it to help it pop out. Do you update your Facebook page on the weekends? Okay? And he gets good engagement. Second tip, tell them what you want them to do. There's only 3 things you can do on Facebook. Like, comment, and share. Tell them what you want them to do. Like this if you agree, or comment below with your thing, or share this idea, or whatever. You've all seen that, right? A lot of you have seen that. So here's Brian Tracy, one of my favourite authors, and he's done something quite interesting, and there's another tip in this. he shared an image first of all. You all can see that, right? He's got a bit of a spiel, and then he says, please comment yes, in capitals, if you agree. Now, here's an interesting thing. He's asked them to comment. The results were he's got 858 likes. He's only got 123 comments, but the dude got 500 shares. He did get some people to do what he said, but he's quite savvy because he knows most people don't read this. They look at the image. And if they like what they see, they're going to share that. Yeah? People are visual. Okay? People are very visual. John Hayden did this. There was a WordPress hacking thing going on, and what he did was he put the CTA there. Share if you have friends using WordPress, because he goes, if they miss it here, I'll at least got their attention there. And that was within an hour, he got 14 shares. That's pretty good for him. Okay, that makes sense? Third tip, 80 characters or less. Oh my gosh, right? Don't write War and Peace. You're not going to read it. Why would anybody else? Okay? People don't read online. They scan. They're looking for keywords, phrases, images, things that resonate with them. Okay? I don't read every single word on my Facebook page. I'm scrolling and I'm just looking for an image that catches my attention. Okay? If you're going to write something, there's loads of different stats and all that crap, okay? But look, keep it around 80. Shorter the better, okay? Is that okay, guys? Okay. Twitter, very quickly, how long have we got? Okay, great. Twitter. Now, if we're going on that assumption that you're sharing content, you'll be sharing links to your blog, your YouTube video, whatever it is, okay, to your website. So this, excuse me, this is a study that was done on Twitter. They analyzed, there's a company called HubSpot in Boston. They analyzed about 200,000 tweets containing links. And they wanted to see which ones got the most engagement. Now, this is where to place your link. Most people will place their link right at the end of the tweet, right? Now, this is a heat map that shows you where did they get the most clicks. The darker shades are where there was more clicks. As you can see, if you put it at the end, it gets a little bit, but where's the majority? It's right there. Put your link about a quarter of the way through the tweet. It will get more engagement. We've tested this, it works. Okay? Quarter of the way through. Second of all, tweets that were 120 to 130 characters got the most engagement. God, I can't even do it in 140. Hey, try. You can do it. Okay? This is going to help you with your copywriting skills. By the way, if you want copywriting help, a really good resource for you is copyblogger.com. In fact, I'll write that down. Okay? So, keep it short and sweet, guys. Next one, last one. How often should I tweet? If you've got tweets that contain links, tweet them about once an hour. Okay? If you look at this is hour 2. It drops significantly. You want to get it about once an hour. If you've got links, I mean, okay? And that's it. I'm done. Is that okay?
We might have time for a couple of questions.
Do you
Okay.
automate that hourly tweet, or do you just, how on earth do you do that physically? You know?
Yeah, well, I've been tweeting whilst I've been presenting. Not because I'm that fast, but because I use automated software. So there's things like Hootsuite, TweetDeck. We like Buffer app. Sorry? Buffer, yeah, Buffer app. That's what we use. A lot of them are free, and we just put our golden content or, in the buffer, and then it just goes out at a particular time. It's really good.
The same tweet, but just set it to go out then.
We have a very, because we get out a lot of content a week, we've got this system, and it just works for us. It might not work for you. Let's say if I have Haroon's Hangout that goes out on a Wednesday, I'll tweet it Wednesday, Thursday, and then I'll leave a gap and then do it on a Saturday. If someone's show goes out on Monday, Ian's show, our boss's show goes out on Monday, so it's Monday, Tuesday, Thursday.
Do you use LinkedIn?
I do, yep.
But you haven't covered that off here, so.
I didn't have enough time.
Right, okay.
But I do. Do you have a specific question about LinkedIn?
Not really, I just, yeah, I mean, I suppose the organisation I'm attached with at the moment, they are happy with us using LinkedIn.
Yeah.
They're looking very much at Twitter, but they don't really like Facebook for business purposes.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a highly regulated financial services business, so it's slightly different, but
Yeah.
they don't like it really.
Yeah, that's a really good
But
point
they put
because
they put LinkedIn as a top business one, really.
yeah, not everybody has to be on Facebook. Some of my social media hippie friends will shoot me down for this, but look, you need to do what works for you. We thought Facebook's going to be great for us. It bombed. It really did. But we do really well on Twitter, Google+, LinkedIn, YouTube, basically everything else except Facebook.
Yeah.
But you need to do what works for you. You have an audience. Do what works for them. Anybody else? Yes?
Yeah, what do you think is the difference between Google Plus and Facebook in terms of the type of post?
Right, this is really important. Did everybody hear that? What's the difference between Google Plus and Facebook? Google, very short, quickly, Google Plus is a search engine. It happens to be social. Okay? Google Plus posts do come up in the search results. Most people have a Google account, knowingly or unknowingly. If you've got a Gmail account, or you use Google Docs or Drive, whatever it is they call it now, you've got a Google account. Now, if you're signed in, okay, let's say you're connected to me on Google, okay? Sorry, what was your name again? Jenny? Let's say Jenny and I are connected on Google+, okay? Now, I've got all my marketing stuff on Google+ that I put out there. Let's say Jenny does a search result while she's logged into Google, something to do with LinkedIn marketing or whatever. My post will come up on page 1 of Jenny's search results. Okay? Because Google says, well, if Jenny and Haroon are connected, Jenny must trust what Haroon's got to say. Now, if he's put some on Google+, we'll just shove that in front of Jenny's eyes. She'll probably want to read it. It's an evolution of search. So Google+ is a search engine. It just happens to be social. Okay? If you're not on Google+, the one I will say to go on is Google+. I'm getting some nods, thank you. From a Go Approach PR. Woo, yeah. Anything else?
Just really briefly,
Yes.
the Hoot Suite and TweetDeck, are there any particular reasons why you might choose one over the other? As you mentioned Buffer app.
I'm a very shallow guy. I just don't like the way they look. That's all it is. Buffer just seemed easier to use for me because I'm not that bright.
So one more question.
Right, okay.
The £150,000, you haven't said which means of social media you used to get that lead.
Oh, there's always one in there. One of them was through, a few of them were through Twitter, a few of them were through LinkedIn, and one of them was converted through YouTube. By the way, your content can not only just generate leads, it can convert people as well. Quite often, people will say, because they're asking me the same things all the time, yeah? Now, when I want to answer their questions, I'll say, hey, I'll email you, but I'll send you some videos or some blog posts that answer those questions. And then it converts that way. Start with your FAQ list. That's the last tip. If you don't know where to start with your problems and needs, look at your FAQ list. That's a great place to start. They're frequently asked questions for a reason. Okay.
Right, I'll stop you there. I'm sure
Right.
we'll go on all night asking you those questions. Thanks